Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Billion Dollar Blind Spots, where we actually help individuals and businesses find the billion dollar blind spots that lie dormant within your business or yourself that can help you. And once you figure it out, once you discover it, can actually capitalize on it, can actually explode your business or your lifestyle. So if you want to find out more, stick around. I got something really cool to show you today. Today, it's Masters Day, man. It's the launch of the Masters for 2022. And I'm going to show you the Masters of real estate, as much as I'm going to show you the Masters of golf too. It's a funny segue. Years ago, I remember watching Tiger Woods as he was coming up as a young kid. Everybody talked about him, and he also fell off the map. He actually got hurt, and actually recently, as in the past couple of weeks, said, "Hey, I'm coming back. I'm going to play." And there's a lot of people out there that were kind of questioning, can Tiger actually do it? Can he actually walk the course? Well, I want you to watch this shot, man. This was a couple of minutes ago. It's the hardest hole on the course. He's 218 yards out. He's probably got a 6 or 7 iron in his hand. And what does he do? Because he's a master of himself and he's done it so many times over and over and over. I don't know if you can see where that ball's going, but look at where it's going to land. Oh my! Legit. He stuck it. He literally stuck that ball right where it had to go. Unreal.
On the most difficult hole at Augusta National, Tiger will have a great look for his first birdie.
Get back into it. What does the Masters in golf have to do with real estate? So a couple of years ago, I actually decided I wanted to learn from the Masters in real estate, and I got together 25 of the industry's best of the best in the business. And I said, it's a difficult time right now. COVID's going on. People are going on in their minds trying to figure out what to do, what to say, how to do it. At this point in the game, really people didn't know what to do. So what we wanted to do was actually provide them with the information from the people that were the best of the best. And because everybody was captured in their house, we were able to get a hold of them and actually interview them. So, what we called it was the 10X Real Estate Warrior Nations, where we actually turned ordinary real estate pros, whether you're a real estate broker, you're a real estate title person, you're a real estate mortgage person, you could use these same tactics, even if you were, if you were doing, if you were doing landscaping or you're doing roofing. I've had people use the same process for it. But, what's interesting about it is we brought together 25 of the best in the industry and people out of the industry even to actually share with you what they do and what are the top secret tips, tricks, strategies, platforms that they're going to actually use. And, I'm going to show you, this is Michael Reese and those guys. Let me give you a little handle on what you're going to learn once you go into this in the Masters of Real Estate.
This is the equation that most people don't know that they don't know. You're going to walk away that day and be able to increase your income.
If you get that number to 2%, then it gets really exciting.
None of us are lucky. We make our luck.
Anytime I feel comfortable, I want to break through that. I want to get uncomfortable.
You can't lead yourself. It's all about leading yourself. There's no way that you're going to be able to lead others.
So what they're talking about is the secrets in this summit. And by the way, you can actually grab a free copy of this. You're going to get the first 8 speakers for free. It's actually a free offer from us on Masters Week. This week, we're going to be offering out. You're going to get the first 8 hours of speakers for free. And I'll show you what that means. But let's just, and by the way, we've been on Bloomberg News, Bloomberg Radio, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, New York Times. We've been in the industry for over 30 years. But guys like this, like Nick Naton, we actually got this wrong. I talked to Nick yesterday. He's actually now at like 30 times. He's a 30-time Emmy Award winner. And what he's talking to you about is how to build a brand and how to become a celebrity in your business. Chris Prefontaine, who actually teaches you about the investing on the real estate side without actually using your money or getting a mortgage, getting somebody to hold the title on the paper and actually buying and selling properties that way. Chris was in the industry with me as a coach. He's done thousands of transactions. So he's somebody that's talking from experience. Michael Reese, I talked to him yesterday, actually. Michael is down in Puerto Rico. Him and his partners, Jay Kinder and Michael Reese and Al Stasik right now are probably the leading people in eXp Realty right now. They have about 11,000 plus people working with them. At the time that we did this, it was probably closer to 8,000. It's now 11,000 people that are working in their employ, in their brokerage, if you will, in their extended team, in their downline or business group is what I like to call it. What's interesting is, as you know, Michael J and Al are actually my immediate upline. So when I have a problem or I have a question, I go to these guys to get the answers. Bill Hang actually works for Home Visit. If you've ever been in your multiple listing service, you've actually seen Bill's work, because Bill actually works for the same company that provides all the information for them. He also works for a company called Home Visit. Have you guys ever seen Vulcan 7, or if you ever wanted to dial 3 phones at a clip? You want to actually get to know Ren Jones. Ren Jones is actually one of these guys. He's a mad scientist. He was a coach and friend of mine for 25 years ago. And we coached one-on-one with people, both coaching people and being coached by other people. He still is being coached. He's being coached by one of my old coaches, a guy named Kevin Eldridge. I spoke to him the other day and he says, yeah, matter of fact, I'm getting on the phone with Kevin now. Abe is one of those guys where he's just a grinder. He was trained by one of the best in the industry. Is a guy named Greg Harrelson, who's a big shout out to Greg. He's a good friend of mine. We couldn't get Greg on because he had something going on with his schedule, but we actually spoke with Abe, who works for him. Abe actually does about 100 transactions a year, and he did that in less than 5 years. So he's a guy that really can tell you from the ground up. He's not somebody that had a silver spoon in his mouth. He did it himself. Krista Mashmore, you might have seen her on Facebook. She is the video expert by far, one of the best at social media and video. And Krista actually does close to $1.5 million to $2 million in real estate business a year, which she's paid on, not volume, but that's actually her gross commission income. Dan Stewart, Happy Grasshopper, he'll teach you how to communicate with people. Jay Kinder is, like I said, Michael's partner. He's been his partner in crime for years, but he was also number 2 in the business when he was in his 20s. Worldwide, not like in his office, not in his region, but worldwide. So you're talking about guys that actually got it done. Chris Heller, by the way, congratulations to Chris for on the launch of his new book. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. I'll see if I can put it up here when I do the video and I do the edit. But Nick, Chris actually took Keller Williams Realty and took them from like 60,000 agents to 100,000 agents when he was at the helm as the CEO. He now is in charge of Ojo. He's going to talk to you about a referral company that's really cool, that's in your area, that, the only way you pay them is if you get paid, which is really cool. Chris is a stand-up guy. Highly recommend his services. Same thing with Nick. Nick is one of those guys where he's just a mad scientist when it comes to social media and how to get exposure to people. Sharon has what she calls the TopGun, the TopGun experts. She actually is really an interesting character. She actually talks about helping people to raise money and do investment properties and then managing that as the realtor. So she's actually working business to business, basically. Carrie Sue is going to teach you how to actually develop a business from divorce. And actually, there's a tremendous amount of business gets some from divorce. Usually each divorce ends up being 1 to 3 transactions, depending on how you do it. But she's an awesome person. I'm going to take a sip of water, but what I'm going to take a sip of water from is actually a great coffee jug that I was given, or water jug that I was given from Nick Neaton from the Success Network. You got to check him out. So who is the next guy on the list is Jeff Quinton. Jeff Quinton, a long-term personal friend of mine for 25 years, works in Ocean City, New Jersey, about 2.5 hours south of me. Jeff is just a machine. I still remember going to his office with my wife when I first met Jeff 25 years ago. And his assistant said, listen, if I open the door, he'll fire me. I can't open that door until 12 o'clock. He'll fire me. I've seen him do it. And you know what? I adopted that for years. And people are like, how did you learn that? I go, that's the guy, Jeff Quinton. Howard Tagger. Howard Tagger is a mad scientist in Wailopo. He's a guy who he was one of the partners in Tiger Leads, if you ever heard of them. But he's a guy who's going to show you how to turn your business on autopilot, how to automate it so that instead of looking at your database and going, oh my God, there's 5,000 people in it, he's going to tell you which one of the 5,000 you're going to call each day based on artificial intelligence and behavioral intelligence to know when they're getting ready to make a decision. Have you ever wanted to build a team, but you're not sure where or how to go about it? You're going to talk to John Pike. John Pike is a genius when it comes to recruiting staff people and people on your team, but he's recruited tens of thousands of people, and especially in the real estate space. So he's the guy, when you want to grow your team, you want to go talk to him. Talk about growing a team. Veronica is one of the, Veronica Figueroa was one of the first Latino women or women of color on the Zillow board. She is one of Zillow advisory boards. She also has a team of about, I think at this point, it's close to 2,000 or 3,000 agents that were working in her employ. She had over 700 of them when she worked at another company. She then brought that team to eXp Realty. But if you want to talk about growing and leadership and how to actually drive people, she's the one. As far as this guy goes, I know this guy, but my expertise is systems and platforms, AI, artificial intelligence, behavioral intelligence, to figure out, instead of going, my background was I was in the military. I was in the Rangers, which is special ops. And I was taught to be a sniper. So I wasn't the guy to shoot buckshot. I would shoot, I would shoot your eyeballs out from about 1,000 yards away and from a tree where you wouldn't even see me. The idea is though, is instead of looking at massive amounts of data, let's drill down and figure out who is your target audience and then go into that target audience and start to talk to the people. How about Charlie Appler? Charlie Appler runs Sotheby's in the area here in New Jersey. He's got about 7 or 8 branches or 7 or 8 offices. But also Charlie at the same time was the president of the National Association of Realtors for 2021. So during COVID and all that, that's a great conversation to learn what was going on behind the scenes to help you to, and once you understand that, you can move forward with it. Matt Wagner, if you've ever seen radio commercials, TV commercials, if you remember Chris Heller, who we talked about a minute ago, in his own right, Chris still has a team that operates in San Diego that does over 200 units a year. The way he does that, one of the things he does is he has advertising, marketing, and he does radio advertising. And Matt is the guy who puts together that platform, puts together that strategy for him to help him to build his business. Matt had a great saying when I talked to him, and he said, you got to be ready for me when I'm going to work in your business, because I'm going to take a blowtorch and put it to your business. And if it's ready to be put on fire and you can handle it, more power to you. But he goes, if you're not ready for it and you don't have the systems in place to be able to handle, he said to me, he goes, listen, if I had 50 people call your office today and said they wanted to list their house, is your staff ready to handle that kind of volume? If it's not, you need to get that in place before you go invest tens of thousands of dollars with him to turn it on fire. Laura Starks, she's another one that's going to talk to you about doing divorce business. Albie Stasek. Albie was one of my coaches, friends. He was the guy who actually helped me turn around my business. He is, again, partners with Jay Kinder and Michael Reese. So how did Al end up falling into this equation? Al actually was one of their first coaches when Jay Kinder and Michael Reese had their own coaching company, NAEA. They coach about 1,500 to 2,000 agents throughout the country. And where I used to pay them like $2,000, $3,000 a month, now we actually offer that service for free. We coach them for free when they're working in our business group. And if you want more information about that, grab the link, schedule a call with me. I'm happy to talk to you about that. But for the purposes of this, Al Stasek was one of the most stand-up guys you're going to meet. What's funny is when you talk to him and when you Google him, when I was trying to find some information to put on the website from his website, ironically enough, there isn't anything. It's all about the stuff he's doing for the people that he's working with. It's all about his team. It's all about the people that he donates his time with. So he is by far one of the most stand-up guys you're going to meet. Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, Al Stasek, and those guys, they had a guy behind the scenes that helped them run their business. This guy, John Kitchen, who is a stand-up guy in his own right. John has his own coaching company, who's also a guy you should check out. John is also an athlete. He's a triathlete, a half Ironman competitor, really stand-up guy. Him and about 10 of these people that are in this group are actually on an accountability with me in the morning. It's called the 5 a.m. group, where actually people are chatting and say, hey, here's what I did today. Here's what I didn't do today. Jimmy Rex. So Jimmy Rex did 32 transactions in his jammies. Do you want to learn how to do 32 transactions in your jammies without leaving your house in one day? That's right. One day, never left his house. Jimmy's going to talk to you about that. He's going to give you the secrets in that. We actually made sure that we put him in the first day's free information. Ryan Hartman, what if you could actually communicate with people and actually by doing it by mail, except that what if you wanted write a handwritten note, but you could do it through a computer and do it with automation so that you could write 20, 30, 50, 100 at a clip. Well, guess what? He's actually figured out how to do that. And when he's talking about making, in that little short video, it talks about when you could take that number from 1% to 2%, that's a huge increase, because 100% increase in the amount of conversion. And you do it on automation while you're doing something else, which is even better. So who is Tristan? Tristan has built a community. At this point in time, his community is over 175,000 agents within his Facebook community. He actually offers coaching, mentoring, and training for people, but he is a community builder. When he talks about building a community of people, or you want to talk about building a following, the guy you want to listen to is Tristan, and the other guy you want to listen to is Nick Naton. Those two guys will help you explode your business. So what else are you going to get in here? You're going to get access to all the speakers if you decided to upgrade this. And again, Michael's going to tell you about it, but there's also some testimonials in here from my buddy Mike Krill. The questions and answers in here, what's going on. Here's what it looks like though. The first day is actually the basic training. The advanced training comes in day 2 and day 3, which that's just another day. Here is the agenda, and here is some information about the guy who holded it all. Where does a lot of this information come from? Like I said, we've been coached by Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Jay Abrahams, John Alexandra, Russell Brunson. There's a whole cast of characters, but at the end of the day, you want to get access to the free information. All it takes is an email. You're just going to take your email. You're going to click the button. You're going to have at it. So again, these guys are the masters of real estate. When you talk about the best of the best, and you see these guys on the master, you see guys like Tiger Woods hitting a shot 118 yards out and puts the ball within 6 feet of the hole. I mean, it's just mind boggling considering that a year and a half ago, they were actually going to take his leg from a car accident. Now he's about to walk 6 miles and actually play the best game of his life. If you want to find out more about how you become the best version of you, and you want to find out how you can actually become the best professional realtor or professional mortgage guy, title guy, insurance guy, any kind of sales business or anything like that, you want to grab a hold of this package. And we'll see you on the other side. Again, hey, it's Masters Week. Real Estate Masters, be part of it. You're either part of the problem or part of the solution. Be part of the solution. Grab a hold of it. We'll see you on the other side. Hey, don't forget to subscribe.